Hello everyone, myself Sradha is Kumar from S1 ECE GCBH. So here I am today to have a talk on zero knowledge proof, and I'm thanking this initiative taken from CSI. And without much further ado, let's get into it. Zero knowledge proof or ZKPs. In this presentation, we are going to deal with main two questions: what ZKP is and why it's relevant. The overview of this section is to get basic ideas of ZKP's protocol and their relevancy in cryptography. We will also be looking into the definition of ZKPs, example to understand ZKPs, properties of ZKPs, why zero knowledge proof, cryptography, and also conclusion. What is zero knowledge proof? There are two questions being asked. At first, these questions seem very absurd or weird. Let's get into it. Like, can I convince someone the validity of something without revealing the proof? Or can I really reveal zero knowledge about a proof? So, is it possible for anyone to prove something to someone without actually revealing the truth or revealing zero knowledge about a proof? Yeah, it is actually possible. Zero knowledge protocol is a way for that. ZKP is a way for a prover to convince a verifier that some statement is true and yet reveal no additional information beyond the fact that the statement is true. In simple words, it is a way by which a prover is proving a statement to a verifier without actually revealing any information about the proof. We can also say that it is an interaction between two entities and there is only two entities or two individuals being involved in this. And also the prover and the verifier are sharing common inputs and the protocol yields accept if every response is accepted by the verifier. On the other hand, the protocol yields reject. This is one of the classic examples to show ZKP in a rather simple way. In this slide, there is a scene, and from this scene, we have to find the guy Brent. But the problem we face here is there is a lot of much alike Brents in that scene. And Alice and Bob are racing to find Brent in a popular children's book series. Here you can see that Alice and Bob are interacting. Here Alice is the prover and Bob is the verifier. Alice is claiming that she knows where Brent is, and at the same time she is challenged to prove it without revealing Brent's location. So what Alice does is that she is cutting a hole in a very large opaque sheet of cardboard and placing the cardboard on the top of the original scene. And only Brent is being revealed. His coordinates related to the rest of the steel is still unknown. And later on, Alice can reproduce the scene underneath to prove that she used the original puzzle. So this is one of the way to prove ZKP protocols, and there is numerous examples available on the internet to show ZKP protocols. Properties of zero knowledge proof system. So, solutions, of course, be able to fulfill some of the most important properties of ZKP systems. Soundness, everything that is provable is true. For example, just for instance, take the example before, like assuming Alice doesn't know Brent's location and presents random pieces of the scene to her proof system, then her cardboard holes will of course display random images without Brent. But of course, Alice proof system are truthful and do not let her cheat in this case. And also completeness. Everything that is true has a proof. That is, if a statement is true, verifier will be of course convinced by the prover. Zero knowledge. Only the statement being proven is revealed. That is, a verifier learns nothing beyond the statement's validity. Just take the example before, like the Brent's location or the relative coordinate of Brent is not being really revealed, right? So this is one of the fascinating things about ZKPs. And why zero knowledge proof? The main accept behind ZKP is if your personal data is never collected, it cannot be stolen. For example, zero knowledge is important because it gives you the privacy in so many cases, like logging into a website. You can just, rather than typing your password, you can just send a proof that you know your password, or like authenticating your identity rather than giving information over the phone to some random person. You just can send a proof that you are who say you are, and sending private blockchain transaction, like rather than sending money on Bitcoin, what it is having a public connection, you can send a proof that your money is valid without without revealing your balances as populated by Zcash. Like we would be discussing about Zcash and Bitcoin towards the end of the presentation. And also the principle of ZKP is it's a secret and you are not authorized to know. An outsider is not authorized to know any additional information. So how do ZKPs help in cryptography? One of the most important or the most powerful tools cryptographers have ever devised. These are the words said by the co-founder of Zcash, that is the Matthew Green. So when it comes to ZKPs, there are two types of ZKPs: interactive ZKPs and non-interactive ZKPs. Interactive ZKPs are the one where I have showed you the example of Brent. You can see that the prover is performing a series of actions to convince you, the verifier, of a certain fact. But the problem with the interactive proof is that it is very limited transferability. Like you have to prove it several times to others, like you have to repeat the entire process several times, which is very tiresome. And non-interactive ZKPs, for example ZK-SNAR, one of the best thing about non-interactive ZKP is that you can deliver a proof to anyone and they can verify for themselves. And also this relies on the verifier picking a random challenge for the prover to solve, and it is also very fast. And also one of the kind of mechanism that should be very useful in cryptography. And case NARC is actually the short form of zero knowledge succinate non-interactive arguments of knowledge. And also privacy is something people always look for. Like most blockchains store data in a way that is publicly accessible at any time. For example, there are some privacy coins that enable private blockchain transactions. For example, the Monero and the Zcash. Zcash is actually the fork of the Bitcoin, and these privacy coins all work behind the zero knowledge system to maintain the privacy of the user. And also you can see that the bitcoin and most cryptocurrency expose your entire payment history to the public, but Zcash is the first one to enable the protection, or like enabling the privacy of transaction just by using the zero knowledge cryptography. And also your transactions are shielded from the public, and also it hides the sender, recipient, and the value on the blockchain. It is actually a very good for your bank statements to be very private. And also you can see that Zcash is actually working on the basis of the zero knowledge proof construction, which is of course the Zcash NAR. And a lot of team of cryptographers are working on this process of enabling more protection and privacy to the users. Uh, and also when it comes to the conclusion, we can all see that zero knowledge proof has very immense potential to put people back in control of the data. Like what always people look forward is privacy, and it is enabling privacy to the users. The basic idea of all of this is ZKPs. Actually, it is allowing more of privacy. And as we have added at the conclusion, we can see that it will have a very enormous impact in finance, healthcare, and other industries, and also by safeguarding the data privacy. And what I have showed you today is just the tip of the iceberg. It is a very vast, enormous topic that involves a lot of mathematical pros and details. And of course, there are a lot of books available on purchase, and also digital ebooks available. You can refer it at any time. And thank you for listening. Thank you for listening up to this. And that's all.